Hello, my collective. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's well. Everyone's had a wonderful day, wonderful week. It's Friday after all, so I hope you have a wonderful weekend, right? Okay, so we have downloads. Yes, we have downloads today. The first one, okay, let's just very quickly light up the candles. I've almost forgot again. The downloads, the candles. All right. Let's evoke Archangel Raphael. That is. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for always being around me. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you 1000 times. Thank you. Thank you so much, Archangel Michael, for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you 1000 times. Thank you so much for your love, your light, your protection, your guidance, your grace, your mercies, for your blessings and your miracles. I'm truly and eternally grateful and thankful to you. Thank you so much. Okay, now, yes, the downloads. I have 2 downloads today. The first one, in fact, I was given the, let's say, this mythology, the story, the context first. The actual message only came in later. This time both these messages, quite strangely, were the other way around. I'll tell you how. So I was not given the main download first. I was given the story first. Story of the occurrence as in history. That's our mythological knowledge. All right, our Puranas. Let me just put it that way. All right. So it's a story about Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva. They are deliberating amongst each other. Like they have 2 sons, right? You know, Kartikeya and Ganesha, right? I'm sure you do know this, right? Ganesha everybody knows, but Kartikeya, I'm sure a lot of people would also know. They also have a daughter, actually, Ashok Sundari. Her name is Ashok Sundari, but she's not, I don't think she's mentioned very much. But these 2 sons are their favorites, like the favorite kids. Okay, Mata Parvati loves Ganesha very much, and Lord Shiva, it just looks like that he has an inclination towards Kartikeya. It just looks like, I don't know whether they love one kid more than the other, both of them, but it just seems like it, but because they're both taking sides here. So what happened was, like, the kids have grown up and they were like, okay, now it's time for them to like get married and everything. So now Kartikeya was the older one, right? They got Kartikeya first, Ganesha came in only later. So they were like, okay, since he's older, so they were deliberating that Kartikeya should get married first, right? But then they were like, no, Ganesha. So this was like a matter of prestige, like who would get married first, like who will be the first one to bring in, you know, a bride. So now they were thinking, oh, Lord Ganesha is more worthy, he's more matured, he's shown such levels of maturity and wisdom. You know, Lord Ganesha is a god of wisdom. Alright, so they said, you know, maybe Lord Ganesha should marry first. So, but the kids don't know about it yet, so they call both the kids. They're like, dude, like how, I mean, who would like to marry first? If it's time you get into Grahastha Jeevan, so who would like to marry first? So they said, like, whoever you decide, they're not in competition yet. So they were like, oh no, we have decided that you should, Ganesha, would you like to marry first? He said, it doesn't matter, Kartikeya is elder to me, ideally he should marry first. So he says that, I don't want to get married first. Now Kartikeya is like, why are you giving it to me like this? He makes it a competition in his head, like why are you allowing it like this, like so? Why don't you marry first? You know, I mean, so they make it like, so it just becomes a thing between them, just in a matter of conversation. It shouldn't really be like, but as it usually happens in our lives also, I'm sure would have, you know where I'm getting at, right? So it becomes like a thing amongst each other, amongst both of them. They were like, oh, Ganesha, but still, you know, keeps his stance that you are the elder one, you should marry first. I don't want to compete in this. But Kartikeya makes it a competition. Where he says, no, you're no one to give it to me. I would like to marry first, but I want to prove of my worth that I'm the elder one and I should marry first. You see how it goes? It's like, no, it's not like you allowing me to be getting married. So you're getting what the gist is, right? So it becomes a competition. So both the parents, Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva says, okay, so we have decided, how about we hold a competition for you guys. Alright, whoever encircles the Brahman, the entirety of the universe, 3 times and come back first will get married first. It gets the right to marry first and everything. I'm sure you would have heard this story, but I'm coming to the point what was raised by the divine here by giving this story again to me. So the day is chosen, the kids get in, all the gods and goddesses, they huddle together, they get together to see who's going to win. They have their own favorites and all of this is happening. So the race starts, the race apparently, which becomes a race. It was not a race, but it became a race because of, I think mostly because of Kartikeya's perspective and how Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati kind of proposed the whole deal, I would say, in a way. Had they not literally called them together and who would like to, I would probably would not, but I think gods, they do things for certain reason. They want us to teach lessons, and I'm coming to that lesson soon. So what happens, Kartikeya goes so when the race is announced, okay, go, whoever comes back first gets the right to marry. First, Kartikeya, takes off, and he has his ride is a peacock. I'm sure you would have seen Lord Kartikeya. If you haven't, it's not very, very prevalent at least in North India we don't see him, but in the South there are actual temples of Kartikeya, and there is a reason why. Right, so he sets off on his peacock, goes around the entire Brahmand, the universe, and that. So he sets off. Let's just put it that way. Lord Ganesha literally just gets up, and so Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva, where they are at the Kailash Parvat, that's where they live, right? So he goes around Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva, just encircles them thrice, and just comes back and said, "I'm done." All right, so. Kartikeya also just touches down. Moments later, Kartikeya also touches down, because he's also God. He's got powers. In fact, he's got something special. He's got 6 faces. He's a special kid, So very, very powerful. And he comes back and they say, okay, congratulations, you've come, but Ganesha has won, so he's getting married. But he's like, how did he do that? He didn't even move from this place. He was right here. How do you think that he won? He said, for him, we are his world. Right, so he encircled us, we are his universe. He encircled us thrice and just proved his devotion to us, devotion to his parents and everything. And Kartikeya actually, eventually, just to round off the story, Kartikeya actually does not accept this decision. He gets a little angry, gets a little upset, rather, not angry maybe. He gets a little upset and actually leaves Kailash Parvat and goes towards the south. So you'll see a lot of, in South India, you'll see a lot of Kartikeya temples and everything, because I think he just goes away, he lives there. He doesn't come back to Kailash Parvat because he gets upset that, you are partial towards Ganesha. So my point here was being something that Ganesha, when they were both Kartikeya and Lord Ganesha and their parents, right? They were deliberating this, that who should get married first. Then Lord Ganesha had pointed out this thing. This is, this competition bit. When we out of nowhere, we create this competition with other people. It just basically, we just lose, our own focus. We lose our own essence. We basically lose ourselves in that. You see now, where is this getting to? Kartikeya was competing with Ganesha, but Ganesha was not competing with Kartikeya. There's something of this sort is probably happening in one of the karmic's lives or in the collective's life, whoever, take it as it resonates. It could be happening in my collective's lives. You could be, in my case, I literally witnessed it, so I knew why the story was given to me. But in your case, you could be going through this, or you could also be witnessing it, whichever way, take it as it resonates. Or it could be a karmic who's watching us right now, who probably just need this little nudge in the right direction. So the idea is, see, you are probably, whoever this is for, you are probably competing with somebody who's not competing with you. Alright? So what you are doing, your only competition, really, let me remind you, and I'm sure you would have heard it 1,000 times before, but I'm here to remind you, just like Lord Mata Parvati and Lord Shiva reminded me, Lord Ganesha and Kartikeya just reminded us, that your only competition should be yourself, really. If you compete with other people, you lose your own essence. You lose yourself. You end up doing things you'll probably not do otherwise in normal, regular circumstances when you're not competing with somebody. You getting my point? You have probably created this unnecessary competition with either, it could be like a sibling. It could literally be a sibling, just like Lord Ganesha and Kartikeya. It could literally be a sibling. You're probably competing with a sibling. You're probably competing with a relative. You're probably competing with your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your co-worker, your best friend. You could be, it could also be that you're competing with your spouse. It could be something of a competition, which is literally one-sided competition, not in terms of that one side is more powerful and more blessed. No, it is literally one-sided. Why am I calling it one-sided? Because there's only literally one side competing and the other one is not competing. So if it is for you, you'll know, it would have resonated with you right now, would have knocked on your heart right now, right away. But if you're watching this, if this is happening in your surrounding and everything, I suggest, let people take their own lessons. I suggest you don't interfere, you don't do anything about it, is what my 2 cents for this. Like, really, sometimes these experiences are given to us so that we learn, just like this. Let's see, Karthik, I'm sure, learned something here. He would have learned, he got upset, yes, but he would have learned something here, right? So these competitions, these chura things that, oh, me over this person, me having this over this person, what these things do is they fracture. Like, this is what literally the author had literally used the term fracture, and I think I loved it. I think, although it's understated, I think what he meant with it, this thing, this competition, this unnecessary competition, basically just fractures relationships. Alright, and then it's once relationships are broken, it's very difficult to put them back together just like they were in the original place. In fact, it's almost impossible to have it back and get the trust back, get the love back, get the affection and understanding back ever again in the same way. Alright, so you might be I'm nudging you here in the right direction. So if it is happening to you, I think you'd be greatly benefited if you were to check yourself. And there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, oh my God, I literally got this. I was given this today by the divine, and I said that literally it was like, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I was like, oh my God, where had I heard this one? I don't even remember, but it was somewhere. I don't know. It was like ages ago. I must have heard this, this thing, check yourself before you wreck yourself, about 20 years ago. I'm sure this is a really old one, kids. Really old one. I don't know where I just couldn't, but I remember this was given literally today. And this was very early morning also. This download, this bit, the check yourself before you wreck yourself bit. But the download, otherwise I got this. The actual story was given to me on, I think, Wednesday itself. Alright, so this would help. Would help you to probably just stop if you were to. It will also more than anything else, you'll be able to restore your relationship with yourself. Because when you're constantly putting yourself in competition with somebody else, you're undermining your own importance, no? Your own essence, you're your own individual self. You have your own personality, you have your own love and light, you have your own aura, you have your own strengths, weaknesses. There's a character about you. So all of that, why are you undermining that competing with anybody, right? You lose yourself because you're trying to compete with somebody, so you'll do certain things that may not be aligned with you, may not be aligned with your life. You know what I mean? In just general sense also, all it takes is one bad direction, one bad decision, my friend, and it just goes in, just lose people, you lose relationships. And most importantly, like I said, the most important relationship you have is with yourself and with your divine, right? These 2 things. So if you're when you're unnecessarily competing with somebody, you're losing your own light. If you just focus on being yourself, you'll do much better. You don't have to be like someone else. You don't have to be somebody is this and somebody is that. You can literally be you. That is what the world needs. You. World doesn't need, a copy of this and a mimic of that, or a mirror image of this and that. No, the world needs you. Your unique personality, whoever you are, your unique traits, your lessons, your wisdom, your light, your leadership. Alright, so whoever this is, you might be, it'd be best for you to just take a look at, just introspect for 5 minutes. Because we are so used to judging other people, how about you judge yourself for 5 minutes? Judge yourself for 5 minutes, sit down, just have this conversation, honest conversation with yourself. What am I doing? Is this right? Is this person even competing with me? If they're not competing with me, why am I competing? What am I trying to prove here? And who am I trying to prove it to? To myself, to my shadow side, you understand what the shadow side, we had discussed that card in my last reading, the 7 of Cups, which came in, also came in inverted, it came in reverse, but when it is upright, what it means is your shadow side. Shadow side is what? Like your dark side, and to be very simple terms, dark side is what? Like the one that actually has a darker traits, like which includes addictions. Again, when I say addictions, people, I mean patterns. I don't mean your addiction to substances or anything, alright? Just be very, this is spiritual language, so just please be very careful, don't get confused, alright? When I say addictions, it could be addictions to certain patterns, that how you respond to a certain situation, how you cope. Getting a point, your coping mechanism, so it's like all of this is, it comes under the scanner. You getting my point? So you need to like just focus, let's see that where is my shadow side pointing at. Just detach yourself from the situation. If I'm feeling this way, why am I feeling this way? I've given you this exercise earlier also. If at all you ever feel, just sit down with your shadow side and just see where it is pointing. How are you feeling? Are you feeling less than? Are you feeling not enough? Then that is you've always enough. You've always been enough. You need to like correct that. You're getting a point? I'm just giving you a random example. If at all someone makes you feel, or you feel in someone's presence, this is how you feel. You feel insufficient. You feel, like I said, less than, you feel not enough, you feel insecure, or you feel jealous, envious, whatever. However, I'm just giving examples here. It is up to you to see. Like you feel that, want to attack this person for whatever reason, just take a 5-second break and see why did I feel that way? How did it come to that moment where I felt that way? Do I feel the same way about everybody, or is this just one particular person, or these two people, or this group of people? That's how I feel. Alright, so just have this exercise. This is shadow self of yours. This shadow work is the most important work in spirituality. This is, and like it is the toughest bit. The correcting yourself is the toughest bit. And you can only correct yourself when you have like the courage, the bravery to like literally sit with yourself and like literally, counter yourself, counter your shadow side. Your light side has to counter your shadow side, and just have a like literal quiet moment with each other. And the light has to win on the over the darkness. Has to, like shadow side has to go. Alright, we all have these things, we all have certain patterns, but it needs to if okay, I'll give you a very easy example. If you get triggered by something, then that's your shadow side. You need to correct it. You should not be getting triggered by anything. Alright, and it's not a compliment. A lot of this lambda generation that you are, I've named you lambdas now. Lambda generation, you feel very okay being triggered, that oh, this triggers me, this word triggers me, this thing triggers me, the humidity in the air triggers me. No, it's not okay for you to be triggered. It's a shadow aspect of your personality, and you need to be able to correct yourself. Otherwise, you'll never be able to take right decisions. You'll not be able to think straight. You might think it's very cool for you to say something like this, now, but this will only just, like get worse with time, and it only get worse. Like quite honestly, I don't want to like manifest anything else in your life, but just telling you that you need to be correcting yourself. If there's any shadow aspect of triggering, gaslighting, if anyone is able to, okay, let me give you a very honest one. If any third party, any third person on the road, anybody is able to trigger you or gaslight you, then there is a shadow aspect that you need to work on. Alright, you should not, let people do what they want to do, but they should not be able to gaslight you. They should not be able to trigger a response in you that you would not give otherwise when you're not triggered. Getting a point? If you're like totally balanced in that temperate energy, then you should not be losing it. Getting my point? Like you should not be triggered, you should not be gaslit. Nobody should be able to do that, is what I'm saying. Alright? So you need to but at the same time, I'm not saying don't speak up for yourself and always be like this Zen mode. Like, no, I'm not saying that. But when I'm saying being triggered, being gaslit, I would trust that you know what I'm getting at. Alright? It was a very long day today. Bear with me. Alright, this was one. So competition, if you want any competition, compete with yourself, compete with an earlier version of yourself. Just see where you were about a year ago. Have you made any leaps? Have you gone any further? Even if you've gone one step further, I'll say that, see that as a win. Compete with yourself. Just be that piece, what this unnecessary competition gets nobody anything, quite honestly. It gets you nowhere, and it's like a fire that is never satisfied. You'll be able to satiate it, quite honestly. This envy, jealousy, and competing with somebody, because there's always someone better. There's always something better. So if you're like thinking, oh my god, let's say for instance, whatever, okay, let's say, okay, this the diamond here. If you're like, if somebody's, I'm giving a very material example because that's what I could think of right now. But if it's someone's diamond, let's say, you're like feeling, or like you want to compete. Oh my god, she's got a bigger one. I need a bigger one. This is not enough. This is not big enough. That is the one I want. That's competition, all right? Let's say you have a house. You have a very big, beautiful house, but you just saw your friend's house and you're like, oh my god, I need this. That can't be there. I'm like, 3 floors, man. I've got only 2. How come they have 3? I have only 2. I need to do something. I need to like buy a bigger house, something like this. And then you be envious and jealous, and then unfair towards that person. You know what I mean? It just avalanches into something bigger. Literally snowballs into something bigger in life, and we don't even realize it until it gets so big that it like literally affects our closest relationships. Our relationships, like of course being with ourselves and God, no, but with other people like your spouse, your best friends, your co-workers. If at all it is something like this, you need to like stop it in tracks now, is what I'm saying. All right? And this it goes for most people would have this sense of competition, but you'll see the most happiest people, the brightest people, the most confident people are never competing with other people. You'll see that. You're never competing, oh my god, I've got a bigger car, I've got a bigger this, I've got a bigger that. I run out of examples also, because I was coming to the point that I don't compete with anyone else, really. Not to really compete with myself also. I'm not like actively competing with myself, like constantly checking on myself. Oh, did I do this? Did I do that? Yes, I can be a taskmaster when it comes to my own life. I like to be organized and everything, but I'm not like literally competing. I'm not in competition mode, like with myself or with anybody, and that gives me the much needed peace that I have in my life, which reflects on my face. The peace and tranquility that you get out of not competing with the world and being just yourself, being your individual self, being in your own world, being the queen of your own world. There is nothing that compares to the happiness that you get out of it, the joy that you get out of it. If I were constantly competing with somebody, you'll just, what will you keep competing about something or the other? There's this, there's that. Competition for someone's affection. Oh, that's the most the examples also don't come to me easily about this, because I literally don't compete with this. You'll see a lot of kids competing for their parents' affection, just like Karthikeya was competing, like he wanted to prove himself, like even when it was not needed, it was not required, he was still trying to prove himself, competing with Ganesha that I'm the better child. Getting my point? Just like same way. So it doesn't help. Just try not competing. Just try this as an experiment on your life, like literally for like what, 1 week. Do your own thing irrespective. You can do that. I refuse to believe that you don't come to know when you're competing with somebody. You do know it. You just hide it. Your shadow aspect just keeps on hiding itself and your personality, right? So whenever that shadow aspects now come in, okay, but I'm like, oh my god, this person is doing this, I'm gonna do that. Whenever that comes in, you check yourself for like 1 week. Say, okay, you know what, shadow, we'll get back together a week later, but for this week I'm going to literally just be myself and do this and that, and see how your life goes. Take a look at that. Just do this experiment for a week. Why I'm not saying 1 day, because 1 day you'll not be able to, you absolutely will not be able to feel the happiness inside you, or rather it comes from ruling your own world, being the queen or the king of your own world, So do this for a week and see how you feel. And I think you will, will be like probably a milestone in your life. You're able to like stop yourself from competing with others. This will be a milestone, at least in your spiritual journey. I'm telling you that, because that's a very important aspect of your shadow side. Very, very important aspect of addictions, and this competition is going to be like, I think it would be like literally 1/3 of the battle. 1/3 of the battle. And it's also not that difficult, quite honestly. All you have to do is just focus on yourself. honestly. If you feel you're compelled to compare yourself to somebody else, just you really have to, just pick up a mirror and look at yourself. It's like, oh my gosh, really, just have a look at yourself. You must be beautiful, right? Just take a look. If you ever feel like, oh my god, she's prettier than me, or she's like, whatever. See, again, whatever. Or he loves her more, okay, something of that sort, or she loves her more, or whatever, whichever way it is, just go and just take a look at yourself in the mirror and just see how awesome you are. Just literally tell yourself how awesome you are. Try this for a week, and like I said, the cost of repeating myself, I'm telling you, it's not that difficult. It's not, and it is very fruitful, this exercise. All right, this was one. Competition was one. The second download was for a person, like I told you, these two downloads came in very differently. I was given the story first, and then I was given the the topic, that this was given to you for this. Alright, so there's somebody, I think, who's been somebody absolutely smashing. I do not know who it is, collective. Don't let it happen to you. If it is happening to you, you tell me. You tell me, I'll come and correct this person. So you have somebody in your energy field, in your aura, in the environment around you. You have somebody who's probably undermining your importance. Alright, so what the story that was given to me, okay, let me just go. You are an amazing personality. You're great. You're probably, because you were compared to the story that was given to me to give this message to you was Mata Durga's story. So divine feminine. And imagine today is Friday. This is divine feminine's day. Alright, so it is coming on an apt day for a message for you. Alright, just say this is literally Mata Durga speaking to you right now. So you probably have, could you be the same person who compares yourself? Could this be for the same person who's competing with randos? Stop competing with random people, or even great people or awesome people, whichever. Let me not call everybody random, but you know what I mean. But somebody in your energy field, is it the same person, whoever it is? Take it as it is. It might be your reading, may not be your reading, but if it is your reading, it'll resonate with you. So whoever this is for, is somebody in your aura that is undermining, like I said, undermining your importance, not giving you credit, in fact taking credit away. Let's say you've done this well, like this person will just come and like belittle you, throw darts at you. I mean, emotional darts, spiritual darts, right? Mental darts. Alright, or it's something about not giving you your due credit, something related to that. I do not know who it is. I felt really, the story which comes is like, when this instance was given to me, I was like, who? This Mahishasur is going to like get it from me only. I'll tell you what. So when this Dana was Mahishasur, let me, because I'll read a lot of Puranas and all, let me tell, because this was Mahishasur, Mahishasur. You would have seen, right? Mata Durga is also called Mahishasurmardini, right? This was a demon. Mahishasur was an asura or a demon who got this boon. He did a lot of, did very difficult penance, austerities, all that great thing. They are like, yes, even asuras, whatever their character really, really be, but they are capable of like applying themselves. You have to give them credit. They are capable of applying themselves. So they generally so this Mahishasur, I think, already came from a very good pedigree. His parents both were like very powerful. I think one was Agni, I do not know. I think his father was Agni and his mother was Rambha. Not Rambha. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have that information with me, that bit of knowledge. But I know that his parents were also very pretty powerful, either deities or gods or asura. I don't know. But if he was an asur, then I'm assuming Agni. So his mother must be an asur. Alright, so he comes from, so he did a lot of penance also. He was already blessed. He did a lot of penance also. Brahmaji, he got a boon from Brahmaji, made him happy, and he said, okay, what do you want? He said, make me like immortal. All of them, they asked for the same boon. All of the asuras, they always ask for the same boon. Make me immortal, everybody. He says, no, that can't be happening. He said, no. As it is, like Lord, Mahadev just keeps on giving, love and light to all the asuras. I mean, so he decides in his head, like, no, this is not going to go well for, the universe. So it has to be, at least I cannot be giving away these boons, like these immortality boons, so nahi hoega. So you think of something else. So he says, "Acha nahi, but I want this only." How are you? Mahadev keeps on giving it to other people. He says Lord Vishnu gives boon to other people. When it comes to you, you are saying no to me. I made you happy. Now you're saying you ask for a boon. So he manipulates Lord Brahma also. Alright, so you're like, he says, okay, go, okay, ask for, I'll give you immortality, but it has to come with terms and condition. It has to come with an asterisk. Alright, so what is the asterisk? So he's saying, so Brahmaji says, you think, what do you want? There has to be, like I said, terms and conditions chahiye isme. It cannot be like absolute immortality nahi ho sakta. It has to be. So Mahishasur thinks he's very smart. He thinks, okay, achha, theek hai. So only just give me this boon. Should be the condition should be that only a woman can kill me. He says, if at all I'll die, I can only die. I should only be able to die through via a woman. Only a woman could kill. That is my condition. That you can just attach that to my contract. Okay, so Brahmaji gets like really, he asks also like, why did you, this particular one, why do you think only a woman should be able to give? I'm curious. I want to know, why do you think that you didn't ask for anything else? There could have been like a million combinations that you could have like used here, but why did you say that only a woman should be able to kill me? In the past you've seen, like in mythology, that Ravan had asked, now he should not be day neither night, should not be on earth, neither in the sky, should not be here. So they make it quite difficult. Now Mahishasur was so overconfident in himself as a masculine, and he literally undermined and underrated the feminine aspect of the universe. He said, no, a woman would never be, they don't materialize to anything. They are the weakest on the planet. They don't ever get anything done. They are like his very male, misogynist way of looking. Oh my God, the old misogynist way of looking, but at least it's an asur doing it. Right? The Devtas never used to look at our Devis that way, and I'm coming to that. So they're the weakest. A woman would never be able to kill me. That's why I'm saying only a woman should be able to kill me. You're getting a point that he's so overconfident. Where that overconfidence comes from his pedigree, also comes from the fact that he was also good at his like whatever he could, like whatever he did, right? The puja. How did he make himself so powerful? How was he able to make Brahmaji happy? He must have done something right. So he had some talent. Or you have to give him credit there, right? So, and like he was also a great warrior, a great asur. He was like taking down kingdoms and Patalok and blah blah, all the loks, like all the 9 realms. He was taking these one by the other, one after the other, rather I should say. Alright. So, but he's so drunk in his power, and he also not just in his power. It's not just his power. It's his misconception that women are weak, that women are weaker sex. Femininity means weakness. You getting my point? So Brahmaji says this, this is such a great opportunity for us to now dwell out a life lesson, which Param will be giving out later, like millions of years later, in one of our downloads, these videos. Imagine. I'm sure Lord Brahma were like, perfect. You child, you are perfect. So he's like, now time for a lesson comes. So Mata Durga, why I'm saying Mata Durga, the divine feminine, Mata Durga was evoked by, so all the gods like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they all got, all the gods, and I mean like, so they evoke her. Mata Durga is made of like, her essence is all the gods together. Her essence is that like, she has parts of, she's made of, let me just put it that way to keep it clearer and simpler. She's made of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Indra, Vayu, because I know, at least I know this fact that Lord Vishnu gave her what is it called? The Brahmastra, that chakra, what is it called? I'm forgetting it right now. Lord Vishnu is going to be, oh my God. It's not coming to my mind right now, but the discus, what is it called in Hindi? I'm forgetting that, a chakra that Lord Vishnu has in one of his fingers. So that, I don't know if it's called Brahma, I don't think it's Brahmastra, whatever it's called, that discus, right? So Lord Vishnu gave her that, Lord Vayu gave her the conch, Lord Indra gave her the king of the heaven, he gave her the Vajra, his weapon Vajra. Lord Shiva gave her his Trishul. Alright, so she has these many hands, and every hand has something or the other, a weapon or the other, or a boon, a hand giving boon, in that position or something. So she's like well adorned when it comes to like a warrior. Alright, she's well adorned, she is more powerful than anybody else. She is a divine feminine, she's Adi Shakti. Alright, and then so she's evoked. So basically, so she didn't exist until then. So just to take this Mahishasur down, Mata Durga came into being, and she was evoked as Mahishasurmardini in this form, and she took him down. Even when he was being taken down, he was saying, you know what, even when he was confronting the divine feminine, even when in those last moments, he was like trying to mock her, saying, okay, see, you know what, you don't have anything of yourself. You might be, oh my god, this, yeah, but you don't have anything of yourself, he's saying. Your discus is borrowed, all your weapons are borrowed, is what he was saying. So she laughs and she says, you know what, I am the amalgamation, the entire divinity. I am Brahma, I am Vishnu, I am Mahesh, I am Indra, I am Vayu, I am Agni, and you are like here saying that. And she just laughs it off. She doesn't like explain it this much, but she's like, I am the divinity, and you're like, you're against divinity right now. I'm here to end you, to punish you. Alright, so, and she does, and that is why she's called Mahishasurmardini. This was a very, very, very powerful asur. Mahishasur was a very powerful asur. So Devi was evoked to come into being and to take him down. So my message to you, my friend, is like, divine feminines, and I touched upon this topic, I think, in about 1 or 2 reads earlier also, that we are not the weaker sex, by the way. We are the stronger sex. We are not their equals. We are not men's equals. We are not. Look at Mata Parvati. If she wanted kids, and she doesn't even need Lord Shiva to have kids. You know this. Like, she is like complete by herself. Lord Shiva needs Mata Parvati. Lord Shiva needs Gauri. Lord Shiva needs Kali. Alright, in her form. So it's not the other way around. She wanted kids. She tells Lord Shiva that, you know what, we should have more kids, and he says, I have enough kids. I'm sure pointing at us. And she says, not these. I want an actual child. I don't want these. Great, you can take care of them. I'm taking care of them, but I want my own kids. And he says, no, I have enough children. I don't want more children. And this is it. So she goes on, she gets angry, and she makes her own children. You know how she creates Lord Ganpati, and how she creates Kartikeya. How this is not Kartikeya's story is slightly different, but still, she creates her own children. She created Ashok Sundari. Alright, she just creates her children. So she doesn't even need Lord Shiva, quite honestly. She's that powerful. Alright, so you must understand that we are divine feminines. We are not, divine masculines equal. We're not their equals. And just get that into your head. We are better than them. We are way more powerful than them. So if somebody is trying to undermine you, number one, that should be your clue number one. If someone's coming to undermine you, these kind of narcissist people, they don't ever spend their time, they don't ever waste their time on someone who's not worthy of being their opponent. Get that right. You must be really powerful. You must be really important. You must be doing something very right in your life that someone like a narcissist is coming after you. Alright, something, or this toxic masculine, let me know, whatever, / narcissist, whatever. So this toxic masculine energy is in your, is in your aura right now. You need to understand, you need to understand, need to recognize your own power yourself and reflect that back at this person. This person will run away, I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. You must, if at all it helps, is pray to Mata Durga, pray to Shakti. Alright, pray to Mata Parvati, pray to Ma Adi Shakti, pray to Ma Kali. Ask for the strength actually. And hand to God Collective. When I was just flipping the cards, I was clearing the energy. Hand to God, the strength card had come over, which is literally Ma Durga's card. It is literally a feminine energy with a lion, right beside her, and she's putting her hand into the lion's mouth. And it says, no, lion is not doing anything to her, So it is really, literally, she just came into the street and then I already had this download. So this was supposed to come to you, whoever this is, alright? Just recognize your power, dude, and just reflect it back. Just reflect it to the world. That's it. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to say anything, but you have to acknowledge yourself first, right? Someone's undermining you because you are important. They would not spend their time on someone unimportant. Nobody would go around, trampling upon someone's emotions just like that. There are ample other weaker people they can pick on, but they pick on people who are important. You're getting my point? So you have to be very careful here. How do you see yourself? Nobody else should be able to build your perspective about yourself. Getting my point? Like I said, it'll help you immensely. Take my word for it. You should pray to Ma Parvati. Pray to Ma Parvati or pray to Ma Kali. Pray to her for strength. This is being happening to me. Allow me, and your prayer is important. Just ask them to allow you to be able to see yourself in the right light. Once you do that, then you will not accept anybody else's bullshit. Oh, they want to say something about you, then let them say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. You know who you are, right? So how do you get into that energy? You acknowledge yourself first. Acknowledge yourself as the Omega, and the Alpha and the Omega. You are Shiv, you are Shakti. Alright? You don't need anybody else. You are Shiv, you are Shakti. Alright? So just do this. Anybody else coming into your energy field and telling you that you're not good enough, or you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right, you have that wrong, oh, this is this way, that is this way. They should focus on their own life, but if they're so focused in yourself, you should just let them be. Alright? And that should not impact your own way of looking. That should not impact your eyesight, how you look at yourself. Correct it today itself. And just like I said, the first step is the easiest one. You pray. Literally, just fold your hands. If you can sing to her, do an aarti, do whatever, just fold your hands, connect with divine, sit in meditation, do that. Whichever way, whatever works for you. And ask for strength. Ask that I want the strength to be able to see myself in the right light. The world will follow. You don't have to correct the world. You have to correct yourself first. If someone's impacting you and you're feeling the impact, that's only because they're able to project something and you're feeling bad for yourself only because you also see yourself that way somehow. Or they're trying to change your perspective, change the angle. You getting my point? So if you just literally were my friend, my dear friend, if you were witness to my life, you'll see about 200 people coming and telling me how I should feel about myself. Quite honestly, judging me every possible way that there is. It doesn't impact me. Why? Because my strength comes from within. I literally draw strength from the divine. How does that happen? Because I go to them for this. So you also have to surrender yourself to divine and ask them, divine, show me who I am. I want to see myself, who I am truly. That's it. Let anyone else who wants to come, let them say whatever they want to say. They'll end up gaslighting themselves. Confirmation. There's literally a ring. They will end up gaslighting themselves. Okay, I'm going to put you... Okay, Impact Collective. I think these were my downloads for the day. My husband's also here. So I'm going to take your leave. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll see you very soon. Bye.